Hey everybody, are you ready to reopen and get life back to normal? Well, in this short series, that's what we've been discussing. What's it like to reopen a financial institution during or after a pandemic? What are the things that should be followed, planned for, looked for? Well, I do want you to know that over on the Payments Professor website, there's an entire series on pandemic planning. And the attendees, they've been raving about the class, but they've been also asking if we could add to the course and have more on the reopening policies and procedures. I've also had these same requests coming in through LinkedIn and through YouTube. So we decided we better just go ahead and make this available to everybody. Are you ready to reopen? Stay tuned. Hey everybody, in this class we're going to discuss and focus on account holders wearing masks and employees wearing masks within the bank or credit union. I've gotten this question a lot and I've heard several concerns on many levels, like first of all with employees. What if only some employees wear the mask? What's that look like? Are the ones wearing masks sick and the ones not safe? Should everybody wear them? If one person wears them, do all of them wear them? Wow, there's so many angles. Let's start with, we need to be able to identify and authenticate our account holders. We discussed how we may or may not have requirements for facial covering, but we know that there are going to be account holders that when it is not required, they are still going to insist upon having facial coverings for at least themselves. Not something I'm going to tell them, you can't do that. See, these individuals, they're going to insist on wearing a mask to be able to protect themselves and the people around them. And this is something that could be in place really for the foreseeable future. But you know those know your customer rules? Yeah, those know your customer rules, they must still be followed. You're going to have to develop a policy to visually identify mask wearing customers while still adhering to social distancing safety standards. Huh? Yeah, it's going to have to happen. See, I mentioned this earlier in the course, and this could be done at the entrance if, and that is if, you are having someone that monitors and controls traffic entering your location. I'd highly consider the potential reputation risk before asking customers to remove their mask. So if you're going to do so, make sure that it's done in a way that is acceptable. Some type of acceptable procedure does need to be in place. Some of that may come down to how sure are you that they match the ID. For example, if someone shows up with a big old hat, a super bug-eyed sunglasses, and a scarf covering their face, I may say that you need to remove some of that to be able to give me enough of a view to determine that they are matching the identification procedures. But you will have to determine how much of that happens. Having the entrance controlled by appointment, that can actually help as well, as that will have the level of knowing who to expect. Not enough proof on its own and not foolproof, but it does give another added level of control. I have heard that some institutions are making a point of 6 feet away from either the teller line or a station to where they are asking the account holders to then remove their mask and then replace them before moving closer, keeping that distance, removing the mask, and then verifying the identity. Of course, they are also separated from other account holders and they are in a secure, clean area, but it comes with its own potential risk. Just be aware of that. Definitely get with legal to weigh in on this one. Yeah, here we are again, legal, legal, legal all the time. There's another huge risk to consider though. And what is that one? Preventing robberies. This one's been a big concern, got a lot of questions on this. We've already seen how the online fraudsters will take advantage of every situation they can. Here we are now with the social acceptance of facial coverings in a location where we want to be able to clearly see who we are working with. So that's going to mean doing some things differently or in new ways. That means that identifying potential threats is going to be a matter of adjusting your internal processes, like we have mentioned in previous sections of the course, and properly training all employees. Something to consider is that the markings and the ropes that are used to make social distancing and spacing happening, they actually could double as an offset for your potential threats. Security cameras, though, they may need to be repositioned or readjusted to capture customer images based on, well, maybe new identification processes. Retina scanning is a thing. Yeah, it really works. Just like before the pandemic, All employees should be trained to identify and, when possible, interrupt, and when also possible or where possible, de-escalate any potential threats. Training is always important. I would definitely be cautious of customers wearing more facial coverings than just a mask. But I also believe that seeing people with facial coverings is going to become a norm, which means you're going to become, complacent with it. So make sure you're particularly aware of anything that's out of the ordinary. So far, what I'm hearing from law enforcement is that they suggest if a threat chooses to go through with a robbery, existing procedures should be followed. Unfortunately, I have a feeling this one is one we will have to deal with and learn from as it happens over time, like we've had to in many other situations. But be prepared. Facial coverings is going to be a huge deal moving forward within financial institutions. Wow, we've covered a lot in this section of the course when it comes to reopening procedures. If you missed a class, we do have them available over on our YouTube channel. You can find that under Payments Professor. And while you're there, please make sure to subscribe. And if you want the full course, head over to paymentsprofessor.com. We've got the full course on pandemic planning as well as other courses. On all of our courses, we break into short videos like this, so it helps you as payment professionals to be able to maximize the little time you have available and learn one topic at a time. We do greatly appreciate your support, and I want you to know too, we're here to serve you. So if there's a topic that you want to have created, just leave us a message on YouTube. Maybe leave us a message here on LinkedIn, or you can email me, kevin@paymentsprofessor.com. We are here to serve and help you, and we do so by making education fun, entertaining, and engaging. I'll see you in future classes.